G'day guys, welcome back. Look, I'm going to do an acrylic pour for you today. I was going to do it tomorrow because I had the day off work, but work called and said, could you come in tomorrow? And I thought, oh, okay. Work really gets in the way of your art, doesn't it? So I'm going to do it tonight for you so I can still upload something for you in the morning. So I was looking around my studio thinking, what colours can I do? You know, getting some inspiration, and I found this little tile. It's a bloom that I did, and I really love it. It's one of my favourite things that I've done. Oh, it's showing blue through here, as usual. It's not showing turquoise. It never shows the correct colour. It's turquoise and blue. So I've picked out that dark colour there, Payne's Grey. I've got some aqua green, which I know shows blue. I'm sorry, everything shows blue. I don't know why. I've got some dark brown, I've got some light brown, I've got some white, and I've got like a bluey turquoise as well. So those are going to be my colours for today. And oh, I'll show you this dried piece that I did the other day or the other week. Dried beautifully. So that's it there. Gorgeous, that one, isn't it? That was a flip and drag. So I'm going to do 3 flip cups today. I'm not going to do a drag though, because I don't really want the stripies. I'm just going to do 3 flip cups. All right, so just kind of just flip them over. See how that goes. I haven't done that for a while. I tend to do flip and drags, unless I just do a small canvas and I just do one flip. The paints are the Mont Marte, as usual. That's aqua green, that one. So, and then that's aqua green. That one is burnt umber. We have white, we have burnt sienna. That's the turquoise with some blue. And then I made my own sort of Payne's Grey with some navy, or some blue and some black and a touch of purple, I think it was. So yeah, those are my colours. Right, let's get my gloves on, put the silicone oil in, and we will start layering. If you don't really want to watch me layering paint, feel free to fast forward and we'll catch up with you in a few minutes. So that's the silicone oil there, the treadmill spot on silicone that I like to use. Consistency. Let me see if I can show you. It leaves a tiny mound on a mound, not a huge one. Now don't hold your stick way up here because you're going to get a different look as to what's going on in there because it's a lot more weight dropping down. Just hold it about 1 inch off the surface and you should just get a little tiny mound. What I do is I hold the stick up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See how it breaks at 8? That's for me is perfect. If that stream breaks at 8, then I know that I've got my right consistency. If it breaks at 5, then I need to add a bit of water. If it's still dropping at 10, well then it's a bit thin and you need to add more paint. Let's do, so I've got 60 grams of pouring medium, 60 grams of paint, pouring mediums 50-50 glue and water. So that's 4 ounces, so 2 ounces of pouring medium, 2 ounces of paint, that's 4 ounces, that means 4 drops. 1, 2, oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I like to do 1 ounce per, or 1 drop per ounce, or 1 drop per 30 grams, roughly. And we need to give that a really good stir in, otherwise you're going to get big blobs of silicone in your work, and you don't want that because then when you stretch them out they end up being big worms. So stir it in really well, and I've said this a million times and I will say it again, the number of times that you stir has nothing to do with the size of your cells. It's the consistency and it's the stretching of your cells that makes them bigger. If your paint consistency is really small, if your paint consistency is really thick, you're going to get really small cells because the oil comes up and it can't go anywhere because it's got so much surface tension on it. Whereas if your paint's really thin, the oil pops up and it can spread, you know, and flow. So you get bigger cells too. So just practice. If you're getting really big wobbly cells, then your mix is too thin. And sometimes too, you just haven't used enough paint, you know, and you've overstretched everything. There is a fly buzzing around me, annoying me. Did you see it? Every time I come to video, he comes and goes, ha ha, you can't get me, you got your hands full. Righto, let's start. You know what, let's just do this. I said to you the other day I was going to do this just to see what happens. So let's just do this. Pour it down the sides. It's much quicker. Basically getting the same effect. The paint sitting on top of the other paint. We'll see what happens, hey? See if there's any difference. I don't know if I want to use all of this burnt sienna. It's quite strong. It tends to take over on a painting. So I might not use all of it. This is faster, isn't it? Woohoo! Look at me go! The paint's getting really old now because I haven't used a lot of it. Well, I haven't used it for a while because my classes have been on hold with the COVID thing and the social distancing. So I haven't used as much paint as I would normally use. I'm just going to scrape the rest out. So it's going a little bit dry. Gotta make sure you know, when you take your paint out, you scrape from the middle. You don't scrape from the edges because your edges get all goopy, don't they? Because I put my paint in these jars, so it's just easier for me to get out. But yeah, you've got to be careful that you don't scrape the paint from the sides of those because they can have all that yucky dry paint on them. And then you end up with blobs, don't you? It's not always easy to pick them out, you know, because if you've got a really pretty background and then you go sticking your finger in it to get a blob out, you can ruin your painting. So sometimes you just got to leave them. Okay, that's that one. I don't know if I want any more of that. I don't know if I want any more of that. I don't know. I just know from previous times when I've used it, it just really takes over. So I think I'll just have one layer of it. Or maybe I'll put 2 layers of it, but only in the middle cup. And then we can see what it does. Some colours are just pushy and greedy and take up all the space, all the attention. Okay, here we go. Nearly done. So it is faster pouring down the side, isn't it? Even though I still have to scrape my cups and drizzle the excess on top. I think I've saved a bit of time. But if it works well, then I can keep doing it, hey, next time. All right, a little bit of the aqua green left. And I want to do another sandwich pour too. I haven't done one for a while. I've done some in blues because I love the blues. I've done a really big pink and grey sandwich pour. I'm probably due for some greens. I might do a green sandwich pour. Maybe some browns. I was looking at my browns today too, thinking I should do some shades of browns. I'm just going to put a little bit of this just in the middle one and see how we go. Righto, move you out of the way. I'm just going to do this 1 cup at a time. Oh, so you're the middle one. You can go there. You can go there. You can go there. Right. Oh, I didn't spray the cups today with oil. I just thought, oh, just get on with it. I actually forgot all about the oil, but it should be fine. Don't necessarily have to have the silicone oil in. I've got my corner catcher ready. I've got my little palette knife ready to pick up paint and do the edges. I've got my puppy pedal pad here to catch all my drips for easy cleanup. So when you're doing these flip cups, make sure that you flip from the inside out, because the end of the cup is usually the dregs, you know, the bits that aren't so attractive, and you want to tip them off. So never tip into the center, always tip out. Right, so I'm going to do the middle one first, and then I'm going to kind of swish the two side ones into it, I think. Whoops. Oh, I didn't really want stripies, but I've got stripies nonetheless. All right, now this one I'm going to kind of just like push in like that. Look how pushy that burnt sienna is. And then this one I'm going to just like push in there. I've kind of lost my middle cup. Oh, all right, let's just put the excess on the corners, because the corners are difficult to cover. This one can have a little bit too. See what I mean about the burnt sienna? It takes over. But let's see what happens. I've got some cells popping up already. Right, so I'm making a mess. Right, so I'm going to cover half the canvas first, and then I'm going to torch. So let's go over here, into the corner, back, and then you can let go. Into the corner, back, and then you can let go. Now I'm not going to need that again, because I'm just going to go over the edges on these two. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get the weight of the paint sort of to the middle. Now I'm going to torch. I'm going to use my other torch, my little guy. Even though he's quite powerful, I'm going to see how this one goes instead of Big Boy. Big Boy's been naughty lately. He's been a bit flamethrowy, so I'm just going to see how this one goes. Oh my gosh. Dots. Maybe I should just stick to my usual. Oh, it's too late now. Going for it. Lots of white dots, like it's popping bubbles, so probably it's not as powerful as Big Boy. So we're popping bubbles rather than bringing cells up. So go a little bit closer. Actually get much closer with this one. There we go. Look, it's bringing cells up. Just a little bit more difficult to use. Get a bit closer. If I can actually pick an area that I want to go to, you got to push this little bit down, and then you got to push that and hold that. What else do I need to do? A little bit there. Loving that orange coming through, the burnt sienna. Sort of coming up looking a bit like orange just there. Okay, so that'll be done for the torch for now. So now we basically just have to get some of that off, and in doing that it'll stretch our cells out. Are we ready? Now you know the drill. We're not going to go straight down, because then the cells are all going to go long. We're going to go left and right and down at the same time, so that they go in a rounded shape. I'm just going to help that over a little bit. Help that over. Feel free to do this on yours. Just wet that canvas, because the paint has to go down there. It just makes it a little bit easier to flow over the edge. Well, I'm liking these colours. All right, here we go. Let go. Take your time. No rush. I've got to get over there, and I've got to get over this bit here too. You can use the weight of the paint to sort of fling it over the edge. There we go, and back. Oh, look at that. Wow, that's really pretty. Wow, I'm not touching it. I'm just bringing that weight of the paint sort of back to the middle a little bit. don't bring it over. I see your hands are ready. Don't drip over them. See these cells up here are quite big. They've been stretched, so you don't want to stretch them anymore. I just take them back a bit that way. There we go. That was easy, wasn't it? Yeah, they're saying really easy for you. But no, look, you saw what I did. You guys can do it. It's all about consistency. I'm just trying to clean my hands, but it's not really working. Let me get my other cloth. I'm just smudging the paint. Oh, there's a blob there. Unmixed paint just sitting there. This is what I was saying to you earlier. You know, if you see a little blob, you might, it's up to you, you know, if you want to stick your finger in it. Me personally, I would just leave it. I can see it's there. You probably can't see it's there from where you are, up there, upstairs. Oh, I love those colours. I'm glad I only did the one layer of that, because you can see how dominant it is. The colours are really quite equal. It's quite a big area of the white there. We've got, it looks like there's more, just like 2 cups, doesn't there, with the stripe down the center. That's got more aqua in it for some reason, and then this has got more of the bluey Payne's grey in it. I might even hang it like long ways, and this can be the bottom and that can be the top. So I'm not even going to torch again. I like my little bit of negative space that I've got around there and through here, and is a little bit of negative space. Sometimes, you know, you can torch too much. Now let me just check to make sure my corners are all covered, which they're not. And then I'll bring you down for a close-up. Also, you need to do that with your little palette knife to catch the drips from the bottom, because they are heavy and they'll want to pull your paint down over the edge. So don't let it do that. Clean it off. Run your palette knife underneath. Catch all those little drippies. Just do it slowly so that it doesn't come up and scratch the side of your painting. All right. What do you think? I like that. And it hasn't got the traditional, like it hasn't got the traditional stripes, has it? Because I didn't do a flip and drag. Let me get my gloves off and I'll show you the one that I did earlier. Here's one I prepared earlier. See the flip and drag? So you can see the definite stripes, the lines. It's really beautiful and bright, that one. But in this one I didn't do the drag. I just flipped over like that. So I guess if I'm sort of maybe flipped and swirled a bit, then I wouldn't get that line. But I don't think it's too bad. There's one line there and there's like another curve there. So yeah, I think it's really pretty. Let me take you down for a close-up. Let's turn my ring light off. And down we go. Hope we've got enough light in here today. It's getting dark. It's starting to get dark outside. The sun's going down. So yeah, I thought I might like hang it this way with the blue at the bottom and sort of the green at the top. What do you think? Maybe. Depends where you want to put it, or just this way. All right, let's go in for a close-up. Oh, I think I'm standing on paint. Must have dropped something. This is, I think this is my favourite corner. Look at that. It kind of looks orange, doesn't it, that burnt sienna? I mean, it is, I guess it is kind of an orangey brown, but against the blues, it just looks amazing. The burnt umber, the dark brown, hasn't shown up a lot. It was a little bit thinner, I must admit. It was a little bit thinner than my other paints, so it's kind of sunk a bit, but there's some there. These cells have got cells inside cells. They've got different colours in them. Hello, little gecko. Can you hear the gecko? Love the white. When I layered the paints, I tried to go opaque, semi-opaque, opaque, semi-opaque. And you can basically tell which colours are more opaque. Like, you know, the green one, oh, it looks turquoise, but it's obviously been mixed with white. The manufacturers have mixed white into it to make it lighter, so it becomes an opaque colour. So I tried to layer them opaque, semi-transparent or semi-opaque, just so that we can get really pretty cells. Oops, my tripod's in the way, move over. So there's that bit of negative space I was telling you about, and I quite like that corner. Love that aqua green. So there we go, there she is. Love this one. Hope you guys love it too. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learnt something from it. I'm sure you do. Just keep practicing, you'll get there. Pop your work up on the Pouring Your Heart Out Facebook group. I'd love to see it. And you know, some people put things up and they go, oh, I think you might just have to make your paints a little bit thicker, or use a bit more paint. You know, I'm quite happy to give advice. So yeah, I'll see you there. Thanks for watching, you guys. And unfortunately I have to go back to work tomorrow. But I'll see you for the next pour next time. Alright, stay safe. Love you all. Bye for now.